Got it fixed. We had technical difficulties, man. Big ones. Had to do a full restart. I think it was the power that the Pest Killer 2000 was taking from the line. Maybe it sucked all the internet goodness out of the modem, and things were going good, and then massive failure across all systems, and the systems have been rebooted and restarted. What do you think about that? Doesn't it look nice? It looks very YouTube, right? It's got the blue, kind of like the the blue lights. So anyway, I just I just had a quick restart and jumped on here as fast as I could. So things may not be set up right. Whatever, who cares, right? So let me I'm gonna check this behind the scenes, make sure. Oh, the chat's still working. All right, let's head on over there. There we go. Very nice. Yes, let's see if we can pull it more into this. I don't have a whole lot of room. The Pest Killer 2000. Well, I guess that's just gonna have to do. Maybe I can. There we go. Very good. That's excellent. Keeping warm, folks. How's everybody doing today? Ready for the hangout? I'm ready for the hangout. I have, let's see here. Got a big disconnected sign there. Let me see if I can refresh this. Let me get the chat to pop out and grab the link. And this is what happens with the total reset. There we go. Okay. I think we're in good shape now. Let's take a look here. All right. So let's see here. Coke was first. Awesome, man. I'm surprised you're here. I figured you'd be looping and changing diapers. Let's see. Kevin's here. Mark's here. Hey, Mark. Good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Gloria's here. Evan's here. Both Evans. We got to figure out Evan R and Evan W. That doesn't have a good ring to it. We need to figure out a distinguishing way to do that. So yeah, the stream froze. I had it going, everything was going good, and then it was like the program said it was dropping frames, and then it just went. I think it was the goodness of the Pest Killer 2000. It was just too cool for everything. So we're gonna see. I did see a gnat in here earlier. So we can. I don't. Betting's not legal, right? But we could see how many we're gonna get. How many gnats are we gonna get? And how long is it gonna take before we get the first one? And how many feet am I gonna jump when the thing goes off when it's right next to me? I swear this thing's getting more powerful. Last night, man. It's like every time it goes off, it's like I get my kung fu out. You know what I mean? I'm ready to take it on, man. Okay, let's go through the chat a little bit. So basically, here's what I have planned. That's it. That's all I have planned for today. So we're just gonna have fun and wait for the gnats to fly over here. Other Evan. Yeah, it was. I don't know what happened, man. It was my cool new shirt broke the YouTube. Yeah. This one's pretty cool. It's comfy. Just it's a one color, but it's like it's a blue and then a black, or is it navy? Oh, it might be navy. I don't know. But man, it's nice. I got shirts. I'm in good shape, man. So what have we seen? We've seen 3 shirts so far, right? We saw the gosh, I can't even remember which ones we did. We did the green one yesterday. And I think it was a gray one the day before. So I want you all to pay special attention to all these different shirts. Okay? Pay attention. We got to see which one's going on. It's going to be something else as we go through here. So let me keep going back. I'm slowly catching up on the chat. Hey everybody. So happy everybody's here. Let's see. That's not a question for me. Let's see here. Getting past the buffering questions. And let's see here. All right, so here's where I come in. Chris is here. Chris, can't be bugs. They're all dead. Zapped. Yes, this thing works morning, noon, and night. I can't wait to get out of this place. I swear I can't wait to get out of this place. Once I get out here, I'll tell everybody all about it. But we gotta be clear, pretty far clear of this. Oh man, Brendan loves the Pest Killer. It's the Pest Killer 2000. And I love can you see? I don't know it says Pest Killer, and then it has a picture of some sort of mystery insect with a red lightning bolt through it. I don't know. I mean, it's got to come from China. So somebody was really on their game. You know, I don't think we manufacture things like this in the United States. But if we did, who's ever on the signage has gone above and beyond the Call of Duty for this one. Yeah, special guest, the Pest Killer 2000. So, Kevin says it looks like a portable tanning bed. Well, obviously I'm not using it. As you can see, my studio tan is rocking right now. Let's see here. Coke says I need a break from the guitar. He's been looping for 6 hours. Have you've seen these YouTube guys, right? And they have like the cool, it's like a dark studio room in the back. They have a red LED type thing and then a blue one, and so it's a lot of interest in the back. I could maybe do that with bug zappers, and I would have it all over them because you never know when it's going to go off. At any moment, it could go off. So it gives the wall, it gives the beige a nice blue glow. Yeah, I'm tanning. I hope I'm I hope it's not it's not bad for you. Tanning's not good for you. Matches the shirt. Dean says it matches the shirt. Yeah. Chris Ross is here. Hey Chris, great to see you, man. Yeah, Chris Ward says, wowzers. 6 hours of looping. That is an enormous amount of looping, man. You're hooked. You're on it. That's great. Oh man. So Gloria likes the blue shirt. I like the blue shirt too. So I think we had a gray shirt, which was a 2-color, which had the logo and this. So all three of the past ones are kind of like this one. So far, this one's a 1-color. So I think the logo on the gray one was different, and maybe yesterday's too. This one's a 1-color. But I'm checking the shirts out. I'm checking the way they feel too. I like this one. I liked all three of the ones so far. So let's see here. Evan's got him a bass. Awesome, man. You need that for recording. You need it for recording. Chris says basses are cool. Right? So Evan says you got your money's worth from the looper. That's right, man. 6 hours. That's good. That's some good stuff. Oh, okay. So Evan R got used to Evan R, so he's fine with that. Okay. Evan R will work. Yeah, we'd like to see that bass, Evan. We would like to see. Evan Wilson says, my friends call me Rev Ev, having performed a few of their weddings, but Evan W never bothered me. Reverend Ev. I'm gonna go with that one, I think. David, I saw what David put up in the group. Says, Lee, can you add some Batman style graphics when the bugs get executed? Zap. I wish I could be that fast, man. Because I know what's going to happen. Because it happens to me all. It's been happening for. And you know what the funny thing is? It's not like they're not in here. They're right outside the door. So if you take the dogs out, or anytime you have to open the door, within like 2 minutes, it's zap, bow. But then I know there's at least one in here. I saw it. I had to leave earlier, so we may get lucky. I don't know. Brendan says, "Can you get the pest killer to zap on a beat?" I don't know, man. I got to read the manual for that, I think. Evans can use one of those outside my house. We're infested with spotted lanternflies. Yeah, man. There's some serious bugs going on right now. Right here is gnats. It's crazy. And Mark's got, everyone has an ant invasion. We had that in my last house. It was a constant battle. But it wasn't quite as fun as using this. This has been endless entertainment for our family all night, man. Because you forget that it's there. Wow. So let's see here. Gloria says, "I want a blue one." Yeah, we're gonna go through them. We're going through them, man. Dean says 4 zaps. Okay, so where's my pen? I got Dean down for 4. I can find a blank page. There we go. I got Dean for 4. 4 zaps for the hour. Evan says, next year people are going to wonder why there's a branded Academy bug zap. Yeah, that's some serious merch right there, man. What's neat about it is I'm glad this is a hangout and we didn't have like something actual to talk about, because it's endlessly entertaining. It came with a chain, and so right here to right here, there's a chain that goes like, it's not on there right now. We haven't put that on yet, but it really reminded me of something that Flavor Flav might wear. Right? Could you see Flavor or me walking around with this or with the bug zapper? Oh man, this has been the weirdest move I've ever, and I'm still in it. It's like it never ends. It just never ends. Ugh. Flavor Flav, yeah, man. Could you see him with a lit up bug zapper? Evan says, Dave says, "Can you open the door for a couple minutes so the zapper goes crazy?" It'll happen. Because, I mean, just a minute ago, one was flying right towards my... If you haven't noticed in the past, this has been going on for like a week. Maybe, and we'll be doing live streams, and I'll be like, just out of nowhere, I'll be like, freak out because they fly right at you. Anyway, yeah, I'll see if I can get some help and open the door for a few minutes. Well, you gotta keep your spirits up, man. And if it's at the expense of a few gnats, I think that's a good deal right there. So let's see what's going on. I've done all of the lessons that came in. I had them all done. I had one come in right at the end, and so right before here. So I got finished the very last one, and so all of the videos are up, and so I will not be up till 2:00 in the morning unless I'm doing something else, but most likely I'll be in good shape for tomorrow for the podcast. So all the videos are up. They were great. I'm seeing progress all over the place, which makes me feel good that this is working. And I'm also seeing, places where I could put a background track in one level, or there's, I'm getting ideas to really finish it out. It's really getting polished, really nice. So my problem is basically Evan W. It's because he's just tearing through these. he's gonna be done 207 level probably right around the time when the academy opens. So John Phillips is here. Hey John, good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We're just waiting for the bug zapper to go off. Maybe I can get a little bug zapper. That's as close as to Batman I'll get without getting copyrighted. We want Scooter. I haven't talked to Scooter yet. I'll talk to Scooter. But Scooter, I have to, I will text message him and then I'll hear back from him in a few days. That's usually the way that handles. But I'll get in touch with Scooter this week. We'll Scooter is fun, man. We need to get Scooter in here. I'm gonna I will do this program that we're using, this thing where I can go through all these different scenes. Wow, that really makes the webcam look nice with all the. Got the TV over there. I can I could do some background stuff, man. I could put something on. I could really look YouTube like this. This is awesome. Almost kind of like a. So what happens is, I use this program called OBS, and it allows me to change scenes and bring up things and do everything. And it's very not user friendly, but it works and it's free. Can't beat it. So then you want to bring people in on a Zoom call, and that adds to the mess, by tenfold, right? So there's a thing called StreamYard that I'm thinking about trying to use. It didn't really work with my audio setup, but it's really easy to bring guests in, and you don't have to reconfigure everything. It just figures everything out. It's not as high quality. This I'm streaming in 1080p. It'll be like 720, but supposedly soon it's going to be in 1080 as well. But I think it's worth the trade-off because it's much better. The audio isn't as good, but it's so easy to use. So I don't know. I may try it out. I may try it for free. You can try it for free, and it'll have up in the corner. It'll say StreamYard or something like that. I may try that out first, and then maybe I'll bring him in because it's real. It makes it really a lot of fun. When we were bringing everybody in on Zoom, it's so much technical stuff that it's hard for me even to keep track of what the conversation is, So I really want to have a different platform when I start bringing people in a little bit more. So I'm hoping hoping I get a chance to get that set up pretty soon. So let's see here. Missed some chat and it looks awesome. So let's see here. Evan R says, I feel like I have an extra day getting it on Sunday. Bet you're glad to have your Sunday night back. That's right. Yes. The plan has always been that if I get the videos in by 9 a.m., then I would do them, and in the afternoon I would have the video back. That was always the plan. And it was really my fault because I didn't spell it out like this is how we have to do it. I just wanted to see what days people gravitated to and try and make it good for everybody. And in doing that, it got very disorganized. And then, so now we have a sign up sheet. And Sundays, Sundays, everybody wanted to do videos on Sundays and barely any on Saturday. And so my Sundays went crazy. And so anyway, now we've got it. figured out. I do know that there's one person who's asked if anybody wants to trade. I think it's Joe, who would like to get in on a Sunday if anybody would like to trade. And so I'm just bringing that up. But at least now it's evenly split, and as long as it's in by 9 o'clock, I will get it. I want to be able to get it back to you when I'm finished, usually the late afternoon or at least by the evening. That way you have a full 6 days to do it. So that's how it's going to be now. But see, I know me, if somebody sends one in late, I'm just going to keep working on them. So I gotta set some guidelines. So I did that today, but I got them done. Everything that's been in so far today. So let's see. Chris wants Scooter. Evan wants Scooter. Dean agrees. Got it in good. Yeah. That's there's if I split it up like it is, which was intended to have a group of like 15 each day, that's doable for me. I can get it done. But what ends up happening like last week was I'd have like 5 one day and then 25 the next on Sunday, which is just too much. So today we're kind of there, and now we had the sign up sheet. So next weekend should go really, really smooth, I hope. So Batman blows my mind that Batman theme was a 12-bar blue. Yeah, it sure was. It sure was, man. I didn't want to do it too close to the Batman theme. You never know if anybody still wants money off of that one. Keep it going. So let's see here. Evan wants a Scooter and the Bug Zapper. Yeah, I'm sure he would love to have the Bug Zapper in. And Chris is not sure the internet could handle both Scooter and the Bug Zapper. Scooter is he's on the internet. Scooter used to play down on the shore a lot. He would be gone all the time. He would play on a lot of places on the Atlantic. And since that's not really a big thing anymore, Scooter's been doing a lot of cool acoustic stuff online on Facebook. So maybe he'll have something to grace our maybe we'll see. I'm gonna get in touch with him tomorrow, since it's becoming a thing. And it's good for Matt. Good to see Matt here. Hey Matt, thanks for hanging out with us today. We're just hanging. We're gonna talk guitar, although we haven't talked really any guitar yet. We've talked Bug Zappers. We've talked Scooter. We've talked our coaching videos. Played a little Batman-esque music. Waiting on the Bug Zapper. The Bug Zapper has not gone off. We have one. We have Dean has said we're going to have 4. Come on. Try and see if I can bring some of the gnats over there. Evan said, I will trade if it helps. I can commit to doing my video Friday nights. Dean says, I am planning to also do Friday night. Okay. Yeah. It was just, Joe had asked. I guess he came in after it was filled up. So we'll figure that out later, but I appreciate that. That will work out. And yeah, the Sunday filled up fast, and now the Saturday is slowly filling up. We've got a couple coaching students who don't really participate a lot every few months, and so I'm hoping that they see that. The first before I put it on everyone's video, I also did a post to everybody in coaching. So hopefully everybody got to see it. Okay, so this is tomorrow's podcast is named the podcast that if you're going to only listen to one, this is the one that you should listen to, which is a big title, big claim, right? So if it sucks, sorry, but I'm noticing something through our coaching, through the questions I get through email from people I don't even know who they are. I'm noticing that from seeing the progress of previous students that I've had, several things that are making a lot of sense to me. And really, when we talk about guitar playing being a journey and not being a competition about how many songs that you can learn, it changes and it puts you on the fast track. I did a whole thing early on in the show about this has been my theory all along. I did a show early on in the podcast about the when you're in the airport and you see the people on the moving sidewalks. So you have this whole group of people, but one group is just tearing past everybody. And that's kind of like what this is when you start to really make a habit of working on things that you're not comfortable with, and make that a habit, and having small goals. Most people don't want to do that. Most people want to play stuff that sounds good all the time. They're entertaining themselves. I can play that. Should I play? It's minor pentatonic. I've been playing it since 1982. It sounds good. If I practice that every day, am I going to get any better at that? No, it's going to sound exactly the same. But there are things that I'm not very good at that I need to be practicing. And if I spent time every day practicing those things, my level of musicianship slowly rises and gets better and gets better. It's really, it's the key to doing this, And the problem with the learning guitar on YouTube is it has nothing to do with that. It has all to do with copying other people. And copying other people is great for ideas, to get ideas and to understand. Well, you don't even understand it. Transcribing from other people, writing it down, even if you're only doing it tab, writing it down and then figuring out, well, why? Why? I need to have a big sign that says, why does this work? Why? That's the key. And once you know why, you're gone. Look at Chris Ward. Look at everybody here. Think about where you were a month ago. You're moving forward. I'm in a nice position, so I have 29 coaching students, and I see most of them on a weekly basis, and knocking these things down and getting the foundations set for really, really neat things. So yeah, that's what basically the podcast is going to be about. About if I was, the way I was thinking about it is, if I went on iTunes and I said guitar podcast, right? And I said, oh, play guitar podcast. What's that? And I opened it up, and then I saw 100 and what have we got? 134, 5, 6, I don't know, episodes. Well, where do I start? Well, the very first one is learning guitar in 2018. Okay. And a lot of people do start there. That's probably the most listened to one. Everybody starts in the beginning. But if I was flipping through there, I would want to know, where would I start? So if I'm flipping through and it says, if you're going to listen to just one episode, listen to this one. That's where I'm going to start, right? I'm going to choose that. And when I choose that, I want that person to know that there is a better way of learning guitar than just beating your head up against the wall, trying to learn all this shredding and all this stuff. There's a place, and you have to build to that point. And I also want that person to know we get a lot of career beginners. That was a big thing, still a big thing. People listen to, what I'm really surprised about is how, on a weekly basis, how many listens that we get from the people who go through all of the episodes. They're constantly, I'm thinking, there's a couple of them I'd like to go back and fix. They're not all awesome. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. There's a couple of them where I could have got to the point a little bit faster. And there's a lot of them, especially when the Academy comes up, that I would like people to know about that. So maybe I might put a little tag at the beginning of each show, said, "Hey, this is Lee. This is one of the older podcasts, and here's what's going on now," and then take a listen to the show, something like that. So, but anyway, so this episode, I'm going to title it that. So hopefully, for people who are new, and even for people who aren't new, to reinforce this, that playing guitar is, you're not going to get good at guitar in 2 months, right? But you can be good at guitar in a second if your expectations are small goals, and slowly getting better and making it part of your life instead of a thing that you're doing instead of a passing fad hobby, is what a lot of these people, I'm going to play guitar and I'm going to get good. And I'm going to put a lot of time into it. Oh, wait, you mean you really have that much time you have to put into it? Well, I don't know. This is going to take a lot of time, and then the guitar goes away. But as we've seen, if you're on the right path and you have blinders on to all this mess that's out there, you get the badge of a musician, right? To me, in my opinion, a musician is someone who's working on their craft to get better. And there's no difference to me than someone who's just starting and who's working on their craft, and there's somebody who's been doing it for 30 years and they're working on their craft. If somebody who's been doing it for 30 years and who's given up, who's just, oh, let's go play the gig, I'll get some beers and I'll play the same stuff I've been playing forever, that's not it to me. That's just my opinion. There's more to it than that. So, just getting to a certain level and then stopping just because, well, this will get me into a band, and you play the same songs over and over again. Well, yeah, you're going to get more refined at playing that song, but that doesn't mean you understand what you're doing, So that's what Monday's about. Let's see here. We got some chats come in. Evan says, this must be some kind of rocket fuel you're providing on tomorrow's show. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bring in the Pest Killer 2000 for tomorrow, though. Although it really looks nice, doesn't it? Chris says, and it's all about each of us helping each other on the journey. I'm only happy to help others along the path. But Lee's right. It's about focusing on doing what you can't do in a sensible way. Yeah, it's spending time working on things that don't sound good, that don't sound pleasing to your ear yet. And that struggle of, I'm playing something and I don't really like the way it sounds. What am I? That puts your brain in motion, right? That you're like, I want to sound good, and my ear's telling me it's not there yet. That's when your subconscious kicks in. Well, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to make this sound good? And that situation that keeps coming up over and over again, I keep hearing over and over again. It's like, I kind of worked on something, I wasn't getting it, and then I slept on it, and then the next day I woke up and picked up the guitar and I was doing it, right? Something happened in between when you stopped practicing, you were sleeping, and then when you woke up and started practicing again, right? That's some cool stuff. That's one of the power of repetition, keeping it in the path, keeping it, it's fresh in your mind, but you're not struggling like someone who's has a test and they haven't studied for it yet. You know, it's not stressful. You're not struggling to keep that fresh in your mind. It just is because we're set up for repetition. Our whole lives are repetition. Brush your teeth, I hope. every day. Right? Gloria gives a thumbs up. That's right. And Chris says it's great seeing everyone move forward. Yeah, I think, why having the coaching being in a forum, where we can kind of check out everybody else's how they're doing, and some people they do not like that, and that's fine. We just do it by email, and no one has to see your videos. But if you participate in that and take the leap of faith, that it's going to be okay, that nobody's going to be mean to you or anything like that, the benefits of it far outweigh that. There's been no bugs yet. I'm really, really upset about that. Let's see here. Brennan says, I really like that, Chris. Learning guitar can seem like a solo adventure, and having a community that's supportive has been really helpful for me. Yeah, and you're a great part of the community too, Brennan. It goes back to when I was taking lessons in college. We would have this guy, this teacher in my guitar teacher in college. He was a great player, and I'm sure for some people he was a great teacher. He wasn't the teacher that was made for me, if you know what I mean. And we would sit out in the hallways waiting for our lesson, and then what made it salvageable, what made it worthwhile, which was really great, is, and these are people I'm still friends with today. That we were going through this thing together. That to me was much, and talking, I learned more talking to the other students than I did with the actual guy who was trying to teach us, so so that's something I'm trying to recreate here. Let's see here. Evan says guitar pays back dividends though for all the work that you put in. Yeah, if it wasn't for guitar, I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have my daughter. Who knows where I'd be, I wouldn't have been to the places I've been to. I wouldn't have met the people I've met who've been awesome, it's amazing. And Chris says, working on new things keeps the guitar fresh, so I always look for new ideas. And Coke says, sucking my way through something and then shelving it until waking up the next day and being better suddenly is the feeling I'm after on guitar. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. And Chris says, from songs, from different music, from different players, right? Gloria says, I want to post mine, but I don't know how to do it. Post the video? Okay. This is how you do it. All right. So this is the easiest way to do it. You need to get a YouTube app on your phone. Okay. If you use your phone, YouTube app on your phone. And then you would you take the video with your phone, right? And so it'll be with your other files, with your pictures and your videos and stuff like that. And then you go to YouTube and say upload a video, and it'll put it up on your YouTube page. Okay. Now, when you get there, there'll be something. Once it's uploaded to the YouTube page, it'll give you some options of things to do. You want to set the video to unlisted. It can either be private or public or unlisted. And so if it's private, right, so only you'd be able to see it, and you'd have to do an email thing for anyone else to see it. Public, it puts it on YouTube's search engine. So other people out there, if they're looking at YouTube, it might pop up and they might go and look at it. We don't want that. But unlisted means that anyone who has the link to that video can watch it. but it's not being pushed out there. So that way we can share the videos as unlisted. We can put them up on the forum, and other people can watch them, and you can share them with people, but only people who have access to that. So this forum, this coaching, is a private. So the only people who are in there are the people you see listed. No one else can go in and see that. So, so anyway, when you go to, let me see if I can pull this up here. Let's see if this will work. Okay, let me see if I can. All right, I need to make this smaller. All right, so when you get to the coaching forum here, where it says write something right there, okay? So you click and write something. Yeah, it scared me out to death. And gosh, you guys didn't see it. Oh yeah, you could see it. There it is right there. Awesome. Okay, Gloria, so you get to here, and there's this little camera right here. And basically that's where you'll put the YouTube link. So if you go to YouTube, let me see if I can find let's go to YouTube. Let's find a random video here. Let's do like an Anakin, let's do a Star Wars video, right? So say when you see your video and it's up there, there'll be a share button. And you can copy this little link right here. It says YouTube, and then a bunch of gobbledygook right there. You say copy. That's the link to this video. And then you would put that. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you put that into the post, and it'll add that video to the post. And then you can write anything you want. You can put your name. So you put add topic. We'll find Gloria. Let's see here. There you are. Okay. And so that'll put it in your section, and then you can say anything you want and then post right there. So it's basically, the process is you film the, let's go back to the chat. So the process is you film your video with the phone or on the computer, however you film it. And then once the video's done, you upload that to YouTube, make it unlisted. Once it's on YouTube and it's unlisted, you grab the link to that video and you put it in the post. And that's it. That's it. So yeah, it's a learning curve in the beginning, but it's super easy after you've done it once or twice. Yeah, and I think Evan said, let's go back over there. Yeah, right here. I go through the right here on the right where it says get started with coaching. That video, that's me really tired in the middle of the night one night. And went through that whole process right there too. So you can check that too if you want to look back at it again. Okay. And Evan says, once it's on your channel, can you find the link to the video? Yeah. Once it's on your channel, actually, you can go to the YouTube studio. I think if you click on your face on your YouTube page, it'll come up my channel, my videos. You go to your videos and it should pop up there. But if it's not there because it's unlisted, you go to YouTube studio, click on videos, and it has all of your videos there. And there's 3 dots. You click on the dots and it'll say get shareable link. Just whenever you can find that video on your page, on your YouTube, you should be able to get it. All right. Yeah. All right. Awesome. We got one. All right. So One down. Dean's the only one who... Well, Glory says 1 with exclamation point. So let's see here. So Evan R says, in Android, you can share to YouTube from the preview in the camera app. Yeah, I forgot about that too. So on your video, you can hit share, and then it should say YouTube. One of the things that say that share to YouTube, and it should go up right up to there, without having to go to YouTube on your phone. Then it shows up in YouTube Library or your phone computer. Yeah. And then Evan R says, YouTube Studio also lets you change the thumbnail in case the default looks dorky, which I always do. Because I try to get one where I'm smiling, because usually it's like, or those kind of things. Okay, so it is 4:49. We're going to wrap things up in about 10 minutes. Any questions I can help you with, I'm happy to. But you got any cool stuff? Anybody got their Spark amp yet? I've been thinking about the Katana and the Spark amp. I know the Spark has a lot more features, but I think Evan R uses the Boss amp, right? We have so it's kind of shaping up that those are the two amps. David says I was going to say 8 earlier. Well, I'll put you down for 8. I mean, it could happen in 10 minutes. It could definitely happen. You never know. So David, 8 zaps. Sometimes it sparks. That's really fun, especially at night when the lights are down and you're getting your mood lighting from the Pest Killer 2000. Best purchase, 2020. Best purchase, hands down, right there. It's almost like a fireplace, a blue fireplace. Evan Sart says, yeah, if I didn't have the Katana already, not sure which I would get. Yeah, it's kind of like those are going to be the two to choose this year. Between the two, I'm curious to see how the Spark, in a real person's opinion and use, how it works, how easy it is to use. Mark wants to know what's the spread. So Gloria says, when soloing, do you think of the notes as letters or by numbers by their interval? So there's kind of a process that you go to. So the first is by pattern, right? So usually what happens is I try in the 101, you see, I try to get everybody to be able to do these inside notes the easy way, and I tell you how the fretboard is set up. But most people are good at the low string. They'll know the names of the notes on the low string, and so these patterns that we're learning. So you're in 202, I think. So when you get those patterns and you figure out, well, what key am I in? I'm in B. So where's a B? Here's a B. So there's where my pattern 1 would start. Right, and then all the other patterns are kind of affixed to that. So at first, the patterns get you up and running quickly. So you're not thinking about the names of the notes. You're not thinking about the intervals yet. You're just thinking about playing the patterns and hearing how these notes sound. As you get a little bit better at that, you start to hear, as your ear starts to develop, you start to hear that some of the notes work better than others. In any of the scale patterns, if it's a pentatonic scale or if it's a full scale, some of the notes sound stronger than others. And we've all done that, where there's a chord progression playing, and then say you're in C minor, and then you land on a note, and you're hoping it's going to be a strong note. It ends up being not so strong of a note, and then you go and you resolve it a little bit after that. Oh, I meant to do that, right? So your ear starts to hear where how some of the notes work better than others. That's step 2. So step 1 is the patterns. Step 2, you start to hear the notes are, some are strong and some are weak. And then we start to work on chord theory. How are chords built, right? Where do these notes come from in the chords? And you find out that the chords are what's holding everything up, and your playing is on top of them. So if you're playing one of the notes from the chords, that happens to be one of those strong notes that your ear already could hear. And those are notes that you would resolve to, that sound good if you would just hit it and let them ring, because they're matching. Guitar's all about matching. It's all about matching. Lead guitar, improv, it's all about matching. How do you match? Do you match perfectly, or do you intentionally play some notes that don't match perfectly to add a little tension and then eventually resolve to those notes? So as you learn these patterns, you start to say, oh, okay, well, when this chord's playing, this note sounds great. And then what happens is the chords change underneath of you as you're going through the chord progression. So say you're in the key of F and you're playing an F, and every time you hit that red dot that's on the, I put a red dot for the root note, for the tonic note, and you play an F, it sounds good. But then you go to a B flat. When you play that F, it doesn't sound quite as strong as it did before. You start to think, well, what are the notes in these chords? Now we're back to what you're talking about. Well, do I need to know the names of the notes and the intervals? But at that point, we spend enough time on the guitar where you're familiar with notes a little bit more, and then you can start going through your scales and say, well, I'm playing a C7 chord, and I'm playing in F. So I have F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, and my C. What's in a C chord? C, E, and G. Well, those are my strong notes, and all the other notes are the weak notes. So it builds, right? If you try to do that in the beginning, you're not playing music, right? We want you to get up and play music first. You want to play and make some stuff that sounds good, and then we're refining refining as we build more of our foundation. You start to be able to make licks of your own. One of the other things we do is we start to learn guitar licks from other guitar players that you like. And you usually, when it's a song that you like and you want to be able to sound like that, you have a little of, if I just put a lick up, right, something I came up with or something like that, you wouldn't be as invested as if it's something that you hear the song, I really want to be able to play that. So you take a little piece of it and figure out what the notes are. And then you say, well, what scales did that fit into? What are the strong notes and what are the weak notes? Well, if that person can do that, I know what they're doing, right? They're making up lines using scale patterns over chords. That's what I'm doing, right? So what's the difference? The difference usually is that they understand how to make a melody out of it. And that's where you start with the pattern over a chord progression. At some point, you start to realize that there's more to it than that. We need to get sometimes I land on a note that doesn't sound as great as it should, or I'm not putting the notes together correctly. And you start to figure out, well, what's the chords? How do the chords work? I have to match these things, So if you're going to match, you need to know which notes match and which notes don't. And we do sequences, which is going up and down, up and down, up and down through. There's different techniques we can use to come up with melodic ideas. But that's where we go from there. And it's the quickest way. Because there's two ways to go. Like you said, just learning the notes and the intervals and all those things. It's good to know the intervals, and it's good to know what those sounds are. But when we're playing, we don't have time to do a lot of stuff, right? 1, 2, ready, go, play, right? How much time do you have to think about what you're doing? A split second. So we need to get these things on autopilot. And so so it's all figured in. As you're in 202, this is all figured in, and you're going to get to the point where you know where the weak notes, strong notes are, and as you're playing, things start to make sense. So take a listen to Evan's Evan W's video from last week, and he was targeting fifths. So basically, he was playing these scale patterns, and when a chord would play, we sat down and figured out, well, what notes are in that chord. And the strong notes are the first note, the third note, and the fifth note. That's from the scale. That's how you build your chord. 1, skip 2, 3, skip 4, 5. Those are our strong notes. And I told him when he's playing, when you're going to rest on a note on the chord, try and make it the fifth. Okay, so in the key of, you're an F in 202, right? So an F7 chord, you have F is the first, A is the third, and C is the fifth. So whenever that F chord would be playing, hang around that fifth. It's a strong note, and it matches the chord. And if he wasn't playing an F, he was playing something totally different, but he was targeting the fifths, and it really sounded nice, really nice. So that's something that you can do to take a look at kind of where we're headed with that. So let's see, I missed some here. Let's see here. John says 7 months still wait. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I'm scattered right now. I may be missing that one. Mark goes, I'll go for 3. Okay, so what do we got? 1 so far. Mark has 3. Let's see here. David says, it reminds me of the episode of Friends where Ross gets his teeth whitened and they put the UV light on. Yeah, maybe I'll get whiter. I don't need to get any whiter, man. It doesn't get much whiter than that. I need to get outside a little bit more. Okay, he was talking about the Spark amp. 7 months still waiting for the Spark. Yeah, they're coming. We've seen it. We've seen it, John. Start getting excited. It's on the way. It is on the way, man. I don't think David is in here, but he got his. You know what David's probably doing? He's probably playing. He's probably practicing right now. Are you here, David? David, are you here? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, those teeth whiten. Thanks. Yeah. Coke says, solo for me, scale pattern is something I choose to use next for XYZ. Then I find my root of the chord and I think of that as home base. Then everything else is an interval note feel of how far to go. Yeah. Yeah. And then as you start and then you can keep going from there. You can keep, instead of playing from the, or are you saying chord to chord to chord? Usually it's the scale, the chord progression, and then playing chord to chord to chord. I think that's something that they teach in jazz is focusing on what chord's playing at the time. Yes, chords have relationships, and yes, there are chord progressions, but and that's something that I learned from jazz that directly made my rock playing 100% better, where other players weren't getting that. Coke says, away from that chord tonal center. Right. Oh, good. I'm glad, Gloria. I'm glad that helped you. Thanks. Would you hang around the first and the fifth? Yeah, or the third. All this. The first is going to be the strongest note to resolve back to. So if you're playing in F and you're soloing in a scale that's over an F chord, if you play the F, it's going to be the most inside. It's going to be the one that matches the most. The third and the fifth, they're not going to match quite as well as the tonal center note, right? But they're going to almost sound like a harmony of those. And then the flat seventh or the seventh, depending on what kind of seventh chord you have. Then all the other notes, as you go farther along or less, they match less, unless you could be playing an extended chord like a ninth chord or something like that. But those notes, even if you solo the ninth over a ninth chord, it still doesn't feel as solid as the root, the third, or the fifth or even the 7th. Glory says, I want one. Yeah. You can target the root 3rd or the 5th. Evan says, if you're using 7ths or 9ths, you could target those two. Yeah. They still don't sound as resolved though as the root note there. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Looks like we only had one zap. That was a good zap though. I'm glad it happened at least once. I would have felt really cheated if we had said all this, although it's beautiful though. The blue glow on my blue shirt with my blue pick. Coke says, jazz is where I landed as my way to think while I was soloing. I started with blues, but now the blues skills kind of want to keep in my back pocket when I decide what I'm starting to do for each chord. Yeah. So what you said, good, awesome. That's great, man. You're on the right path then. Okay, everybody, thanks. I'm going to go ahead and call it. We're going to have a little Sunday dinner and enjoy the rest of the night. You won't be getting your videos at 3 o'clock in the morning this week. But hey, John, thanks for hanging out with us. Good to see you, man. And thanks everybody else if you're here watching and are not in the chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. And we're getting more and more people hanging out and having fun with us. And that's what it's all about, having fun and zapping bugs while you can. Okay, thanks Gloria, thanks John and Chris. Chris said I might pick a solo to consider targeted notes just as an extracurricular. Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh, Kevin, thanks Brennan. Great handout. Thanks Evan, both Evans. Evan and other Evan R and Evan W. Coke, Dean, thank you. And Mark, good to see you, Mark. Of course, Glory, I think I said Glory before. David Sparrow is very here. Thank you for keeping up with the zaps. We only got one. I guess Mark was the closest with 3. So Mark wins. I don't know what that means, but he wins. And let's see here. We got the Evans, got Brennan, got John, Gloria. If I've missed anybody, just thanks anyway. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you tomorrow at 4 for the podcast. This was fun. Had a whole weekend full of fun live streaming. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.